Hello, here we are for our whole body session with weights. I am going to go through some exercises with you. So if you have some weights, grab those and we will get going. We're going to start with a warm up. I'm just going to check if moving you over here is going to be better. Possibly. So let's do that. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to grab my mat and let's get going. Let's not knock over my background. Okay, so we're going to start off on the floor. So let me move you just a touch. Fabulous. You can see my messy kitchen from here. All good. Right, so we're going to start with some cat-cows. So we're going to start by dipping our belly as we look up towards the ceiling and then round your back as you look down towards your knees. I just realised I haven't got my sound in, so we'll carry on with those. Let's plug in the sound. Just in a little bit of a rush today, but it's all good. Lovely. Okay. Fabulous. So we'll carry on with our cat-cows. So dip your belly, breathe in. Round your back, breathe out. Bring your foot to your hand, reach arm up, and then swap over sides. Feel free to pop some music on if you wish. I won't, because otherwise you might not hear a word I say, and I might get the sound taken off anyway, so let's not do that. Up on the right side. Lovely. All right, so bring one leg forward. You're going to push your knee forward over your toe. Pull it back. Forwards and back. So remember, if you need, use your hands on the floor. You don't have to go as fast as me. Into my legs. And swap over sides. Might move you back in a second because I don't know if you're going to see everything when I start to stand up. So lovely. Right, we're going to come down onto our backs now. So we're going to come up into a bridge. So from there, feet just separate. We're going to have our feet quite close to our hips and then lift up, squeeze your bum, lower. So just getting everything nice and warm, ready for our workout today. So we're going to do upper body to start with, then lower body, then core. So we're going to work everything. Hopefully you'll have lots of fun, maybe get a bit sweaty. Lovely. And then from there, we're going to take our arms out to the sides, fingertips to the floor, and then nails to the floor. So forward and back. Notice your shoulders making noises. My right shoulder's a bit tight today. I can feel it's lifting as I do this. Let's sit up. So we're going to just reach our arms up and then squeeze them down. Just imagine that you've got a tennis ball between your shoulders at the back and you're just squeezing that there. Arms are going to come in front. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. So if I show you, you'll squeeze and release. I'm just keeping my arms reaching forwards, squeezing my shoulder blades back, so they're just making my arms move. Lovely. Back onto all fours. Come into our bird dog, so opposite arm, opposite leg. Right arm forward, left leg back. And then we're going to crunch in the middle. Abs all warm and ready. You need to do these slower than me, that's absolutely fine. I'm gazing down because it's a lot easier to stay balanced if you look at a fixed point. Lovely. Other side, so left arm, right knee, crunching into the middle. Looking at this fixed point on my mat to stay balanced. Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to move you over here. Right, so I might have to move the camera around. I need to have you higher, I think, next time. But I will do that next time. Okay, so one last thing, we're just going to reach the arms up and then behind, up, behind, up, up, and behind. Lovely. So we need a set of light dumbbells. If you only got heavy ones, maybe you don't want to go for these straight away, but see how you feel. So I'm going to grab, I've got 2.5 here. Okay, so we're going to start off with some lateral raises. So with a lateral raise, you want to have your arm slightly bent. So we don't want to have our arm dead straight, unless you're doing these without weights. You could probably do that. We're going to have a slight bend, and you're going to keep your wrist either level or just below. So we don't want to come into this position as we raise up. So we're not flying like this, we're flying like this, okay? So I'm going to take your dumbbells, we're going to go for 10. Good. From there, we're going to come and kneel down. We're going to stretch, press up. So we're going to keep our elbows tucked in nice and close. We don't want our elbows out here. Elbows tucked in. We're going to press up to the ceiling and back down. So pressing up fast and slower down. And keep our rib cage tucked in, so we don't want to be flaring our ribs as we press. Lovely. And then next one we're going to do, see me too well. Let's do those two and I'll move the camera. Okay, so we're going to go back to our lateral raises. Bring your torso nice and still. Slight bend in your arm. Your wrists aren't going a lot higher. Kneeling down. So we're just taking our legs out of the shoulder press. When we do these, elbows tucked in or tucked down. Step down. Okay, we're going to do one more set of the lateral raises and the shoulder press. Feel free to grab a drink if you want. Okay, so standing back up. So these are going to be nice and soft. We use muscles rather than momentum, so we don't want to be swinging our bodies. Okay, so stable. Lovely. So last set of kneeling shoulder presses. So I'm going to start with the dumbbells resting on your shoulders, elbows tucked in, up fast, down slow. Up belly pulled in. Two. Perfect. Right, so I'm just going to adjust the angle. Okay, so we're going to come into a renegade row. So you might want to go a bit heavier with your weight. If you've got a few sets, that is. It doesn't have to be. So a renegade row is a plank with a row, okay? So if you know that doing this movement means you're going to wobble, stay on your knees. And you could either be in this box position like I am now, or you can take your knees back and push your hips forward. That might be enough of a challenge for you. Or you can be up in a plank. So if you're in the plank, you want your feet to be nice and wide. You're going to press your shoulders up towards the ceiling, tuck your tailbone under, and then we're going to row. I'm going to count this as starting now. Okay, so it's quite tough on your hands if your dumbbells are quite hard. If you've got the foamy ones, it might feel a bit nicer. I'm going to do a couple more on each side. So obviously there will be a bit of movement in your torso, but you want to try not to move too much if you can. Give your thumbs a little bit of a rest. We're going to move them to the sides, and then we're going to do an inchworm into a push-up. So we're going to walk ourselves out, and then from there, lower down. You need to drop your knees. You can do so, and then you're going to lift back up into your plank, walk yourself back, standing all the way up. Walking out, push up, walking back. We'll do 8. That's 2. And of course, if a push up is a real struggle for you, you can just come into this plank and stay there. Oh, I've got my push up. Got 2 more. Lovely. Okay, so a bit of a rest again, and then we're going to go back into our renegade row. Have a drink if you wish. It's warm today. Muggy, I think. Okay, so into either your box to do your rows, knees down plank, so hips forward, or up on those toes, going for 10. That's 12 actually. You can do 10 if you like. Okay, and then we're going to go back into our inchworm walkout. So from the back of your mat, bending forward, walking out into your push-up. And drop your knees if you need. You can go slower or faster than me. See how you feel. And then when we stand all the way up, I want you to think about squeezing your bum at the top. So stand up nice and tall, squeeze your bum. This is number 5. Lovely. Get out of breath. Hopefully you are too. Last one after this. Lovely. Okay, so back to our renegade row. So I will do 10 this time. Good. Catch your breath for a second. So just remember, if you are doing these and you struggle to get the full amount of reps with good form, just stop when you know that your form is going out. So if you were doing a renegade row and your hips are high or your hips are dropping low, it's only going to be causing issues with your back. So just stop and just do good reps. So if you do 5 amazing reps, that's better than doing 10 really sloppy ones that are just hurting, okay? So go at your own pace, do as many as you feel you can, all right? Cool, let's get ready. Last set of renegade rows, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keeping that strong core, Trying not to wiggle from side to side too much. Lovely, that's 10. Okay, and then last set of inchworm walkouts with your push-up. It's getting tough on my arms already. That's 7. Last one. Lovely. All the way up to finish. Nice. Okay. So that's the end of that circuit. The next circuit we're going to do is a chest press from the floor, and then we're going to do a kneeling rear delt fly. So I did these earlier. I found someone on YouTube who was doing them, and I was like, that's brilliant because it works your core loads. So I love any exercise that works your core. So with our chest press, elbows are going to be from the floor. We're going to press up to the middle, back down to the floor. So grab a dumbbell that you know you can work with. We're going to go for 10 reps, okay? So dumbbells up together to start. We're just going to take a breath in, elbows touch the floor, press up. So as the dumbbells touch together at the top, you're squeezing your chest muscles. If you squeeze the dumbbells together, that will activate your chest muscles. Working your triceps as well, the muscles in the back of your arms. Take a rest, come on up. And then from there, just checking my microphone's on. We're going to come into this rear delt fly. So we're going to be in this box position, toes tucked under if that's more stable. And then we're going to take one arm out to the side, other arm out to the side. So I normally do these here, but when you're kneeling down, you can feel it more in your core, which I love. So we're going to do these, all right? So 5 each side. 1, 2. We're going to do slow. So as you come back slowly, you're having to stabilize with your core. And also getting those muscles on the back of your shoulders. So you're working here and working into your mid-back as well. Lovely. All right. So we're going to go back onto our back for our chest press. Stick around me. Anyone that has children, I'm sure you will understand about stickers. So starting with your dumbbell at the top, elbows to the floor and back up. So we're going to have our nails facing up towards the ceiling or just slightly away from us. Keep your wrists nice and strong as you press up. Make sure you're breathing. I always breathe out on the effort. In as we relax down. Lovely. Okay, so come on up. Back into our kneeling rear delt flies. So one at a time. Hoping that you are getting sweaty too, like me. It feels really nice to sweat. So just going to keep your neck. So I'm looking down now to keep my neck in a nice straight line. So when I look it up here, obviously I'm twisting my neck, which is not great. When you're lifting, always want to try and keep your back and your neck in its neutral position or specifically straight. That's 10 there. Okay, so we've got one more set. Hopefully your arms are back and your chest are feeling work. One more sip. Lovely. And then coming onto your back, chest press the last time. So dumbbells at the top to start. Breathe in. So hopefully you've picked a weight that's challenging enough. I probably could go heavier on these. I want to be able to talk to you at the same time. And if you're just using bottles or cans or nothing, that's absolutely fine. I mean, you can do this with a band as well. If you enjoy doing these workouts with me, it might be worth getting some dumbbells because there's loads more we can do. Lovely. Right, last set of our kneeling rear delt fly. So slowly coming down. Squeeze your shoulders. One more on each side. Lovely. And that is our upper body done. So we're going to go into our legs next. I'm going to adjust the camera angle again. Can't see me. Okay, left. So if you've got a heavier dumbbell or a kettlebell, grab that. If not, just work with what you've got. We're going to start off with some sumo squats. I'm just going to hold our dumbbell in a goblet hold. So your hands are going to be like this. Dumbbell is resting against your chest. So we don't want it to be held out here because as we squat down, it's very likely you'll collapse. Okay, so we're going to keep it against our chest. Feet nice and wide, squatting down. Okay, so if you can, you want your bum to go down level with your knees or just below, if you can. If your mobility is such that you're here, that's perfect. You work with what you've got. Just be mindful that your back is staying nice and straight and upright. We don't want to be tipping forward in our squat if you can help it, okay? Lovely. All right, so we're going to do that one. We are going to do a sumo deadlift as well. So our dumbbell be in between our legs, nice and wide with the legs. We're going to keep our shoulders back. So we're going to squeeze your chest through your arms. Going to lower down, stand up, squeeze your bum. So from here, I love these. I'm going to go as heavy as you can with these. Probably could get my 15 out. So from here, just going to squeeze our bum, squeeze our legs. So breathe in out on the way up. Okay, so we're going to come into reverse lunges now. So I'm going to grab my lighter weights. You can do these with nothing. And then what we're going to do, someone asked me earlier if I do bicep curls, and I don't normally, but we're going to now. Okay, so we're going to reverse lunge with a bicep curl. We're going to hammer curl. So our head of our dumbbell is going to come this way, reaching up towards our shoulders. Okay, so we're going to do 5 each side. So let's start off with our left leg going back, curl as we press. Take your time with these. If your knee won't go all the way to the floor, that's okay. I just did 7. I said 5 each side. Sorry. 5 on the other side. 1. Yeah, I just love exercising so much. Doesn't matter if we go over. That's 5. Okay, so that's our 3 leg exercises. So we're going to come back into our sumo squats, the goblet hold. So legs nice and wide, bum sinks back and down. Make sure you're breathing. Got 3 more. Lovely. Starting to feel the burn now. Hope so. I know I am. Lush. Right, so sumo deadlift. So squeeze. Oh, nearly dropped down my toe. Squeeze your chest through your shoulders. So we're going to keep our shoulders back nice and straight. I turn this way. So in this nice straight back, standing up straight. Okay. Right, turn around again. So there's 5, I think. Building some nice glutes. Lovely. All right, and then we're coming into our reverse lunge with our bicep curl. If you don't have a weight, this is absolutely fine, okay? No, these ones. Right. So left leg first, curl and lunge. Knee comes as close to the floor as you can do it. The other leg. I didn't do too many that time. Lovely. All right, so that's 5 each leg done. One more set. Grab a drink, and then it'll be time for our core. We've just half an hour already, so if you do need to finish, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to carry on, it'll be another 5-10 minutes. Lovely. Okay, squats. So into our sumo, hips back and down, stand up strong, squeeze your bum. Just careful not to hyperextend. So you see people doing this, and that's only going to cause pinch in your lower back, and you're not going to be building those strong glutes. I'm going to act as a brake. So stand up, squeeze your legs. You're not going to bend too far forward or at all. This is the last one. Lovely. Cool. So definitely hot. Last set of your deadlifts. So same thing, squeeze everything, just work your muscles, use your brake to stand up nice and strong. Last 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Okay, last set of lunges. Okay, ready? Left leg back. 1, 2. So notice how I'm not swinging my body either. Sometimes people do this to do a dumbbell curls. We don't want to do that. Okay, so you're just gonna use your arms to gently curl up as you come back. Lovely. And then other side. I generally tend to find if people are swinging their body in a bicep curl, dumbbell's probably too heavy, so just take it down. Okay, last one. Amazing. Okay, so we just have our core work to finish now. Whew, have a drink, and then I will lower the screen. I'll get this sorted, ready for next time. Okay. Yep, you can see. Lovely. So what we're going to do is grab a dumbbell. So if you are postpartum and you have any diastasis, so the diastasis happens as your belly grows, your linea alba, the connective tissue, will separate. And then if it's not knotted back together, as you do a sit-up, you'll notice a dome here. If you have that, please don't do sit-ups. Sit-ups are not really for everybody. We're going to do them today because I like doing them sometimes. So if you know this, that's okay for you, you're more than welcome to do the sit-ups with me. So I'm going to use a weight overhead. I'm going to have my knees up towards the ceiling. I'm going to take myself back, dumbbell overhead, try not to knock my thing, and then I'm going to sit up and reach. So I'm going to come forward just a tiny bit. If you notice you have diastasis, so what I want you to lift your top up, just notice if you do, then what you're going to do instead, if you have a dumbbell, brilliant, you're going to take the dumbbell behind you and up, behind you and up. And then you're just going to focus on keeping your belly button down. And then you could maybe just do these with your head, just check that you're not doming as you're moving. And that should be perfect for you. Okay, so those are your options. And if you don't want to do sit-ups, you don't have to. I don't often do them. Sometimes I like them. And that's because I've now worked to heal my diastasis. So I know they're okay for me. But I remember a couple of years ago, after I had Jack, I was doing sit-ups and I noticed that I still had doming. So I just did something else. There's always other options. Okay, 2 more. Perfect. Okay, so the next one should be okay for anybody. So what you're going to do is just make sure that you can keep your belly down. So what we don't want to do when we do any core work is to let our belly push out. I don't know if you can see my top. But if your belly pushes out when you're doing core work, you're not controlling your abs. So we want to be able to keep them locking together. That's their job, to work together to stay nice and tight. So if that's not happening, then I want you just to focus on your breath and check that that's working. Okay. So coming down. So with your breathing, you're just going to breathe in. Your ribcage naturally expands, and as you breathe out, you're going to think about your blueberry and pulling your belly button back towards your spine just a little bit. Think about your ribcage knitting together. So if you probably notice in pregnancy that your ribcage got bigger, and this is good for helping it come back. Okay. So what we're going to do is just little marches with our legs. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so if you want to do that quicker, I'm just going to swap. 2, you can take your legs straight. See how that is. If you notice that your belly, you can feel along the middle. If you notice that it's not staying down, take it back. Okay. And the last one we're going to do is take your arms out to the side, feet on the floor. You're just going to drop your knees from the side to side. And if super duper easy for you, move that dumbbell out of the way. You can take your knees up, keep your belly tucked down. You're just going to go from side to side. So you don't have to go all the way to the floor. This might be enough. And it's controlling it on the way back up. You can go all the way to the floor. Just see how it feels. Sometimes pinching your back. You don't have to always go the furthest you can possibly go. See, you might find you wiggle down the mat and your arms end up around your head. Lovely. Let's do one more each side. Lovely. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock your back from side to side. Have a nice stretch before we finish today. Lovely. So I love doing this. Cross one leg over the other. This might be enough for you can do exactly this. Or if you can reach and grab hold of the back of your thigh or maybe your shin, and you should feel your piriformis stretch. If you've got a little pain in your bum, that is probably your piriformis, a muscle that can be responsible for sciatica. So if you get sciatica, it means that muscle is tight over your sciatic nerve. If you don't get sciatica, luckily, your nerve will run on top of that muscle. So even if it does get tight, it won't affect you in that way. And you wonder why I'm rocking. I always like to rock when I stretch. It's like when you rock a baby, it tells your body it's okay to relax. Always working on my nervous system. The sides. You might find one side's tighter than the other. You might have to take it back a little. You might not be able to grab your shin or the back of your thigh. You might need your feet on the floor. Onto our knees. So we're going to come into a lunge. So we're not going to go the furthest lunge we can. One knee directly underneath your hip, other foot forward. And then you're going to start to push your hip forward and squeeze your bum. So you'll feel a stretch down your psoas. So if you take it too far, you possibly won't feel this, but your psoas, it joins your hip to your rib, and you might find sometimes it gets really tight in your belly, and you can feel it all the way up, but I can just feel it here today, so that's good. Reach your arm up and over, stretching more into your side. Hopefully, I can't even get my words out. Hopefully, you're feeling really good now after that workout. It's quite different to the other two, I know. Oh, so we're going to start. Squeeze your bum, push your hip forward. I know you can't see. So just resting. And reach up and over to the side. Oh, tightness in there. Good. Lovely. Come back onto your knees. Just going to link our hands. Push them the other way and then press your head forward. Stretching out your back. Any tension in your neck, it's your trap muscles. Release them off. It's up overhead. Shoulders down away from your ears. It's very tempting to reach them up, so keep them down. And then lastly, hands behind your back. You're gonna either pull them down towards your bum or slightly away. You can bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulders together. Really open up into that chest. Maybe have a little wiggle. Okay, so that is us done. Thank you so much for joining me. I loved that today. I hope that you did too. And I will see you next week for more of our challenge. Have a lovely weekend. And see you soon.